Greetings, royal family. Welcome back to another episode of the Morning Boogie Live Morning Show with me, Royal B. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020, and it's all good. As you're coming in, hit the like button if you want to stick around and listen to some of the commentary, and then hit the like button. That's fine. Make sure you drop it in the comments as I'm going through and discussing these topics. For those of you who are watching the replay, I normally wait for a few minutes until everyone starts rolling in. So hopefully you don't mind. Got a couple of things on the list today. NeNe Leakes, she was very open recently on Angela Yee's podcast, Lip Service. NeNe talked about her and Greg's relationship. Loni Love, again, in the media telling her business, talking about her boyfriend. This is going to be interesting. I was actually just watching, what do you call it? The Breakfast Club with Kimbella and Joel Santana's brother, twin. I don't even know what Kimbella was talking about. I didn't plan to put that on the lineup, but I will talk about that as well. So again, make sure you're hitting the like button as you are coming in. Share the video. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are a returning royal family member, you already know how this thing goes. So I know how the notifications can be. So I will wait until some of you start rolling in. Oh boy, what a day. So we're approaching the 2-minute mark. Greetings, don't try me. Welcome. What else do I have on the list today? Oh, Wendy Williams. Oh, yes. Wendy Williams has made the list again today. And she's on here twice. She was talking cash money-ish about Nicki Minaj and her marriage. So today on her show, she plans to talk about Nicki Minaj and her husband. So this definitely shall be good. All right, so I'm getting ready to go in. We're in 3 minutes. So here we go. Loni Love. She makes her man, her boyfriend, sign an NDA. She made him sign an NDA. I just wish Loni would shut up sometimes about certain things. So she was on The Real. Of course, she's on The Real. Excuse me. And they were talking about relationships and celebrities writing books and people doing tell-all books. I think Jessica Simpson, she has a project coming out, and she's going to be talking about her relationship with Nick Lachey and other people. So this prompted Loni to bring up the fact that she made her boyfriend sign an NDA, and she says that it wasn't necessarily for him. She said it's because of the people around him. Now, I have no idea what that means or how that works. Again, they were discussing Jessica Simpson's book, and she goes on to say, for example, when an NDA, like an NDA would come in handy in a situation like this for Jessica Simpson. And I'm just like, how? But if James signs the NDA, that's Loni Love's boyfriend, and she said it's not specifically for him, but for the people around him. She didn't elaborate on that. So she feels that if people had NDAs, they wouldn't be so quick to write tell-alls, because doing that could ruin someone's brand. Now, Adrienne, who is on another co-host on the show, she pointed out that Loni wrote a book in the past. I think it was like a relationship book, but she kind of put a comedic spin on it. So Adrienne was trying to be funny and said, well, Loni, you wrote a book. Should us, the ladies on the show, should we have signed an NDA? And Loni replied, yes, you should have. I'm like, what? What she should have done was she should have had that lady who helps her write her jokes, who outed her about Tamar being fired. Why didn't she have her sign an NDA? Interesting. Yeah, I think it's time for Lonnie to be quiet. I mean, we don't care, Lonnie. And I wish she would have elaborated on what she meant by that NDA wasn't for her boyfriend. It was more so for the people around her, people around him. So, I don't know. But he can tell the people around him things about him and Lonnie, and they can write a book or speak to the press. So what would happen? Her boyfriend would get sued because of that? Like I said, I'm confused. Who knows? It's time for Lonnie to be quiet. So moving along, Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy from Love and Hip Hop Miami. They done made Trick quit the show. Or so he says. That's what's being reported. So I don't know if you guys caught the episode from Monday night. We saw Trick basically cuss out the production team at his house while they were filming. Remember, Joy came over to his house to check on him, and the camera crew was behind Joy. And he says, "What are they doing here?" And he went off on them. He called out the producer for putting his mugshot out on the episode, on the show. And he said it made him look like a criminal. So he yelled that he was out. He's like, I'm out. Y'all need to find somebody else. Do you think Trick was overreacting? Because I know in his confessionals and previous episodes after he was arrested, he was telling production, like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't ask me nothing about it. Leave it alone. And again, they put up his mugshot. But Love and Hip Hop wasn't the only one that put out his mugshot. They weren't even the ones that broke the story, unless they gave the story to other media outlets. But TMZ put up his picture, other new media outlets put up his picture. But I guess he felt, like I said in my review, which is up now, by the way. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check out the Love and Hip Hop Miami and New York review right here on the channel. Maybe he felt betrayed. But Trick, you're on a reality show. So what do you expect? So do you think that Trick was overreacting, or was Love and Hip Hop out of line? Like I said, he's on a reality show. I mean, I hope he was joking about quitting, though, because that would be unfortunate. I like Trick on the show. I think he's needed on the show. You know, he's a veteran in the game. People love Trick. He hasn't made music in some time, but we still like him, his personality. And he's good for the show. He's good comic relief. I thoroughly enjoy Trick Daddy on the show. Let me see what is going on in the Chizat. Hey, greetings. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make sure you're hitting the like button while you're in here. But yeah, I did see and review Love and Hip Hop Miami. You know, that show, I tell you, Trick almost made me shed a tear when he showed up in the Bahamas for Trina, because he swore he wasn't going to go. He was very angry, very upset, and he did not go with them when they first left, Joy, Bobby Lights, and Trina. But I did think that was good that he went and showed support and love for Trina. Trina seemed like she was understanding. She was bummed out because he didn't go, but he ended up showing up, and I almost shed a tear because I thought that was beautiful. So let me know what you guys think. Was Trick overreacting? Trick Daddy, that is, from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Or was Love and Hip Hop out of line? Trick can't quit the show, man. He's one of the reasons why I started watching, to be honest with you. Trick and Trina are like the captains of the show, even though we don't really see Trina a lot, which I understand why, but Trick is doing his thing. He's entertaining. He's very, very entertaining. Regardless of what scene or how short the scene is, he is extremely entertaining. All right. Up next, NeNe Leakes. Whew. This was good. I think NeNe is a very smart businesswoman, and I'll go into why later. So she is opening up about her husband Greg's alleged misbehaviors. So she was on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast recently, and she says that she discovered that Greg Leakes, her husband, they divorced. They were married for like, I think 10 years or something like that. They got divorced and they got remarried. So they still together. She says that Greg was having inappropriate conversations with a former employee. Now, the whole time that she was telling this story, she was cool as a cucumber. Real matter of fact, like, it is what it is. And I loved every minute of it. She's very entertaining. She was very pleasant. I like listening to her story, and I like the way that she approached this whole situation. She might not have approached it so calmly at the time, but she's a great storyteller. She had me engaged. So she explained that this alleged incident came to light back in 2019 after she opened her clothing store in Maryland. So at the time, she did post on Twitter about Greg's behavior, but she said that she was asking for a friend. She posted, what did she post? What would you do if your husband was caught talking to one of their employees or something like that? And she put asking for a friend. I remember the tweet, but not word for word. So she goes on to explain on the podcast that Greg was the one that helped with the hiring process for the new store. So she says that he's really good with all things that I'm not good with. So I guess hiring employees was one of those things. So she shared that one day when she was looking for a manager, she remembered a girl in the store that seemed like Greg's quote unquote type. She explained that when she first saw the girl, who NeNe identified on the podcast as being named Juanita, she said she thought nothing of it until she came back to the store a while after to have an employee meeting. She said that during the meeting, she noticed that Juanita and one of the other employees were not getting along. So NeNe says she was sitting there. The gay guy said, "I don't appreciate you calling me a queen. And listen, you wouldn't want to do that because you know I know your secret." So there was another employee, a gay male, that was arguing with Juanita. And basically the male employee said, don't try me because I know your secrets and I'll spill all your tea, in a nutshell. So NeNe said that Juanita denied what the male employee was referencing, prompting him to say, the male employee, now this is during a meeting, a team meeting that she's having with her employees. So the male says, "How about you and Mr. Greg be FaceTiming?" NeNe said that she didn't get out of character. She didn't lose her cool. All she said was, "Really?" NeNe said that she knew that he wasn't lying when he exposed Juanita, and Juanita was sitting there in shock. And she said because of this, her and Greg, they didn't talk for months, but they eventually got back to a good place. And she was disappointed in Greg. She says that she doesn't force her husband to be faithful. She says Greg has taken passes that I didn't give him. At this point, if he wanted to go, he would go the hell on. She says, "I like to talk open relationships, and I have talked about that with Greg and told him, if you're going to cheat, your relationship is open anyway." She said, "If Greg wanted to be with someone right now, I would say go right on. Why am I going to try to keep him from doing something he wants to do? Then I would have to make a choice if I wanted to say, and I probably would." So she's basically saying, like, look, I can't keep this man from doing whatever it is that he wants to do. Truth. If he's going to go cheat in peace. I'm not stressing myself out over it. And she says that she probably would still remain married to him. Now, I can respect her being upfront and honest. She says she's not with all that rah-rah. She's not going to be calling people, telling people to leave her man alone. She says that she does what she wants anyway. She says, "I don't want to hear what he's doing anyway. I'm in New York and he's in Georgia. Whatever he's doing, I don't need to know about it. We've really had these conversations." So after she heard this allegation in this team meeting, she said she calls Greg. She put him on speaker. And she said to him, "So you've been talking to Juanita?" And she said he started screaming. He's like, no, I would never. Oh, it wasn't like that. So NeNe was like, oh, okay. That means you have. Bye. Basically, he's guilty because of the way that he was acting. She said that he went insane. He was crazy. He was screaming. And then moments later, she heard Juanita's phone beeping as if she was getting some sort of text. So she said she politely asked Juanita in front of the other employees to pack her stuff and leave. So when she talked to Greg further about this, Greg said that they never did anything. They just talked on the phone. They never had sex. And she asked him, like, why would you do this? And he says that NeNe wasn't there for him to talk to. This is what he told her. Now, I wonder if this is what Wendy Williams was talking about when she tried to tell NeNe's business. Remember when she said that NeNe texted her and NeNe, you need to be honest and upfront and tell your truth because a lot of people would have sympathy for you. But I have to tell you, I like NeNe's attitude. My kind of girl. They've been married for 20 years or however many years. And it's true. You cannot, no matter how much you jump up and down, fuss and fight, break windows, slash tire, whatever, scream and cry, call other women, you cannot stop your husband from stepping out. If he's going to step out, trust me, I'm pretty sure NeNe is doing her too. Some would say, why stay married? Because she explained that they have these discussions, I guess that their marriage is slightly open. She let it know. She put it out on the table. You can say a lot about NeNe, but to me, I think NeNe keeps it a buck, and I respect that. She keeps it real. She keeps it real, and not just with this situation. And I like that she's in a better place, and she's comfortable about talking about this. And maybe that's why Cynthia wanted NeNe to talk to Kenya. I don't know. So, yeah, I respect it. I respect it. I think they put everything out on the table. If he is going to step out, like she says, she does what she wants. He's all the way in Atlanta. She's in New York. She does her. But I think that they are open and honest about certain things. And I guess it makes for a better relationship. And Greg pretty much knows, like, look, when I was down and out, this woman was there for me by my side. A lot of people were criticizing NeNe, saying she was so mean. And I stuck up for NeNe because I know what it's like to be in a caretaker position, full on, hands on. I talked about this in my review. And I stuck up for her 1000% because it's easy to say, oh, she's being mean to Greg. Some people have no idea what it's like to see your loved one sick like that. And my loved one did not beat cancer. You understand? So, and on top of that, having gone through these infidelities, and she could have threw Greg under the bus, and she didn't. So now that all of this is coming out, I wonder if everybody is looking stupid who criticized her heavily, saying that she was quote unquote mean to Greg. I don't think that she was mean to Greg. I think that there was a lot of tension, a lot of pressure. NeNe still had to work. She had to watch her husband be sick, not knowing if he was going to wake up another day, etc., etc. But I digress. So tell me what you think. Speaking of Wendy Williams, she is always in the mix of something, and I don't mind it because it gives me something to talk about. So Wendy Williams had said yesterday on her show that she plans on addressing Nicki and her husband. Also, put it in the chat. Let me know what you think about NeNe and Greg. Again, she was on Angela Yee's Lip Service podcast. You could probably Google the video. Yeah, it's all over the internet, so you can Google the video. If you're just rolling in, welcome. I'm not looking at the chat. Welcome, everybody. Greetings. So back to Wendy. Okay, yesterday during her Hot Topics segment, she said that she plans on addressing Nicki Minaj and her husband. I don't think that she should be talking about Nicki Minaj anymore. She says that Nicki's situation needs to be talked about, that she's tired of sitting on this story. She says Nicki should not have married her husband. I said, oh my gosh. She said she is going to be the reason why her career is going to take a hit, basically. I said, "Oh my, here we go." Wendy pointed out Mr. Petty's background, his legal background. So I guess she believes all of the allegations. Oh gosh, she just mm-mm-mm. And she says nope. She says basically signaling the Hot Topics team, fire it up, cue it up, cue it up. She says nope. That's pretty much the story right there. No, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, meaning today. So I will be tuning in. Matter of fact, I should have set my darn DVR, and I didn't. It's all good. So she plans. I'm gonna be tuning in. I am going to be tuning in to see what she has to say. Oh gosh, Wendy, I just don't know. I don't know if she should be talking about Nicki anymore. Granted, this is what she does, right? But girl, why you considering that Nicki has never been on her show, I don't think Nicki's ever been on her show, and she's never had a conversation with her. She talks like she's so angry at Nicki Minaj, like she has a personal beef, and it could be because Nicki Minaj roasted her on Queen Radio after Wendy brought Nicki and her husband up. Wendy Williams is gonna get enough. I'm telling you, she is gonna get. She's gonna get enough about talking about people. But I for sure am gonna be tuning in to her Hot Topic segment to see what she's gonna say. And at this point, I don't want Nicki Minaj to respond. I don't. I think that Nicki Minaj has a lot going on with her, a lot going on around her, a lot of things that are going on that are directly affecting her and only her. I don't think that she should open her mouth and say a word. If Wendy wants to have her opinion, then let her. You know what I'm saying? Nicki shouldn't be caring about what Wendy Williams has to say, considering she had her own marital issues. And yeah, anybody can make an opinion, but I don't want Nicki Minaj to go on Queen Radio and make it about Wendy. You said what you said before, Wendy Williams and etc. and all that good stuff. You made your point, but when Wendy says what she says, I think she should leave it alone, leave it be. Okay? And speaking of Wendy's marriage, her house was sold recently. I remember I talked about her house being up for sale on one of my What the Friday shows, and I wanted to follow up with this story because I was curious to find out how they were going to, like, who was going to be getting the money from the sale of the house. So the house sold for $1.7 million, her New Jersey home, and they're going to be splitting the money from that 50-50. So it's being reported that Kevin also sold, or Kelvin, that's his real name, but we call him Kevin. He also sold the house that he and his mistress were living in. Remember when he bought a house down the street from Wendy, or in the same neighborhood as Wendy's house, the house that he used to share with his former wife? So he sold that house, which I think was stupid. I think he has money, so I think I think it was like $700,000. The house was worth. I think he should have paid it off and just probably rented it out. I don't think he should have sold it. But word on the street is that he's even pawning some of his expensive items. So he's visiting the pawn shop and selling off his expensive watches, etc., etc. And I'm wondering if he's going broke. If so, how? He got a settlement from the divorce. He has half the sale of the New Jersey house, half the money from the New Jersey house being sold. He sold the house that he and his mistress lived in. How is he broke? Probably drugs. It just doesn't seem like he's a smart man when it comes to money. But then business, I don't know. I don't get it how he's going broke. I think that's a little bit crazy. He's also the beneficiary of Wendy's $1 million life insurance policy. Remember that? And Wendy's also paying his health insurance. And that's court ordered. So what is he paying for? So how is he broke? Why is he pawning off all of his stuff? And if you want proof of that and details, one of my favorite YouTubers, Chronicles Speaks. When I tell you Inspector Chronicles has receipts, you can check out her channel, check out the video. She has receipts, proof showing that he pawned his watches and the cost of them. We're talking about Rolexes, you know, $1,000 watches. So why is he pawning his jewelry? I don't know. I wonder what's going on over there. Well, they say ain't no rest for the wicked. But he shouldn't be going broke though. I don't understand how. Unless he has a lot of debt. But what debt does he have? He's getting his health insurance paid. He's a beneficiary of a $1 million life insurance policy. He sold a $750,000 home. He got half of the $1.7 million. That's from the sale of their New Jersey home. It ain't like does he have to pay child support for little Kev because he's still in school? Probably not. That wasn't a part of the court order. So I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, Wendy, I think that you should leave Nicki Minaj alone. Please leave her alone. But I know that you won't. Oh, God. When will it end? You don't watch Wendy no more, yeah? Greetings, Wandan Diva. Greetings. I don't know. I just... Wendy. So what do you think she's going to say? What do you think she's going to say about Nicki Minaj? Do you think Nicki Minaj should clap back and put her in her place? I don't think that Nicki should say anything. I think that Nicki should leave it alone. Let Wendy have her. She probably needs this. Her ratings are probably dropping. Let Wendy have this. She needs this. Nicki, you got bigger fish to fry. You have better things to worry about. Let me know what you guys think. And like I said, I was watching just a few moments ago. Kimbella was on the Breakfast Club for whatever reason, and it was a 20-something minute video. Juelz Santana's brother was on there, and Kimbella was on there. And Kimbella was talking about Jules. Of course, she talked about love and hip hop. And she actually said out of her mouth that, what's her name? Yandy is upset with Kimbella. And that's why Yandy was the one that brought up all of this drama that happened 10 years ago. What's wrong? Is Kimbella okay? You brought this up, sis. And she says she has no idea why Yandy is mad at her. And I guess she insinuated that Yandy was hating on her. No, what? Listen, she needs to be grateful because it's because of Yandy that you're on the show. Quiet as it's kept. Yandy is one of the executive producers, and she's helping you eat. And Yandy did not bring up this issue from 10 years ago. You did. That was your whole storyline. You aligned with Chrissy, and you were upset that Yandy didn't jump in this fight according to you. So how did Yandy bring this up? Lord help Kimbella. I wish that they would have talked more to his brother about the music because he was talking a little bit and he was interesting. He was talking about Cameron and Dipset and everything, and he was talking about Juelz releasing new music and what was going on with all of them, the diplomats back in the day. I wanted to hear more of that. I don't want to hear Kimbella's nonsense. What was she talking about? Love and hip hop drama. And the entire interview, she did not talk about any business ventures or anything that she has going on. Although, I have said before, I respect her hustle. She is out here pushing and promoting Juelz's music because that's part of her bread and butter as well. So, I can't knock her hustle. It is what it is. So, if you didn't already, check out that interview. Warning, it is a tad bit boring, but yeah, it was something for me to watch before I went live. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Kimbella is delusional. So she's upset with Yandy. Envy was saying to her, hey, didn't you throw a drink on Yandy? She said, yeah, she did. And like, she doesn't see anything wrong with that. She doesn't see anything wrong with throwing a drink on Yandy. And why did you throw a drink on Yandy? Because you were mad at her. Because she didn't defend you when Chrissy slapped you. Or dragged you, literally. Oh, help us, Lord. It's 10:07 on this beautiful Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. And some of these celebrities are still crazy. The Royal Culture Podcast is Wednesday, so the Royal Culture Podcast will be up today. That's already locked, loaded, and recorded, so that is going to be up at 12 noon Eastern Time. Make sure you check that out. The topic was Gayle King. She recently sat down with Oprah, of all people. She talked with Oprah. Oprah is on this tour. She's going around speaking about different topics. So Oprah and Gayle sat down, and I guess this was a interview. So you guys have to check out that video. It's not long, about 13 minutes or so. And you got to listen to some of the things that Gayle was saying. No accountability whatsoever. Kimbella kind of reminded me of Gayle King a little bit on her Breakfast Club interview, because she took no accountability for anything that she did or said, and she is delusional. So that video will be up at 12 noon, like I said, Eastern Time. Make sure your notifications are on, because that one is already locked and loaded. What comes on tonight? Sisters. Oh, Lord. Let's get ready, y'all. So, a lot of things in the chamber ready for you guys. Make sure you check out the Love and Hip Hop Miami and Love and Hip Hop New York reviews. Those are up. As far as Love and Hip Hop New York, it looks like they're taking a mid-season break, and they're going to be back in spring. But isn't spring in 2 weeks or so? Like, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta will be coming back on Monday, so I'm excited about that. Karen King and Mama D are returning, and those are my two faves. Everyone else is I guess. So we'll see what storylines they come up with. But the trailer looks pretty good. Everybody's coming back. I think they have light skinned Keisha, that's her name. The rapper, she's joining the cast. I have no idea who she is. I don't know what she sings or raps about, but I guess we'll find out. I think they could have ended Love and Hip Hop. They don't need to come back for another half of a season. As far as a reunion, I don't even know what they would have a reunion about. I don't want Fresher and Jen to return. So we shall see how this goes, because you're going to have 3 franchises of Love and Hip Hop on at the same time. I'm not mad at it, but we'll see how that works. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this episode of the Morning Boogie live morning show with me, Royal B. Thank you to all of you who joined the chat, and those of you who hit the like button. Be sure to share the video. If you are watching the replay, get down in the comments. I would love to know what you think about some of the topics mentioned. So this is a pretty short show. I want to go and watch Wendy Williams make a fool of herself, and I want to see what she's going to say about Nicki Minaj. So I have my TV on right now, locked and loaded, ready to go. So I probably will be discussing this tomorrow on the morning show. Hope you guys have a fantastic, positive, and productive, abundantly blessed Wednesday. Hit the like button. Like I said, it helps YouTube push out the video. The more likes, the more comments. It just helps me get exposure. It costs you nothing, right? So make sure you check out the other content on the channel. I'm sure you can find something that you will enjoy. Again, it's Wednesday. Royal Culture Podcast will be up at noon Eastern Time. Make sure you check that out and share your feedback in the comments. So, Royal Family, I am signing off for now. But until next time, peace.